Hi guys, welcome to MJ Chemistry Academy. This is Jagan munakala. Today topic is how to write chemical formulas. What's the topic? Today topic is how to write chemical formulas. Before that, you have an idea about that ions. Ions are already we know that two types: positive ions, negative ions. Positive ions named as a cation. So ions also based on valency we have to classify as a monovalent, bivalent, trivalent, tetravalent, pentavalent like that. So example monovalent. Monovalent examples particularly 1A group elements. What is that? Really? 1A group elements. 1A group elements. For example, 1A group elements H plus and hydrogen lithium plus sodium plus potassium plus rubidium plus cesium. These are all 1A group elements. These are all 1A group elements. And the second one, monovalent, another example, other elements. Other elements examples. Other elements for monovalent. Other elements. Do you know Au plus arm and Ag plus silver? So ammonium ion, NH4 plus. This is the compound ion. And these are type of ions are there. NO2 plus, nitronium ion. These are all called as other ions. Other ions. And coming to the bivalent cations. Bivalent cation. Bivalent cations. Bivalent ion. Bivalent ions are particularly secondary group elements. What are the bivalent ions? Secondary group elements. These secondary group elements can be losing 2 electron to get stability like noble gases. 1A group elements losing 1 electron to get stability like noble gases. What are the secondary group elements? Beryllium plus 2, magnesium 2 plus, and beryllium, magnesium, calcium, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium. Okay, and these are type beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. So radium is a radioactive element, unstable barium. And other bivalent elements also there. Other elements. Other elements. You know that other elements. What are the other elements? Fe2 plus, Cu2 plus, Au2 plus. So these are all other cations also. Other Mn2 plus, magnet 2 plus, Mn2 plus. So these are other elements also shows the plus 2 charge. Plus 2 charge. These are all called as a bivalent ions. Bivalent. Its charge is plus 2, valence is 2. Charge is plus 2, valency. Without charge you have to express, that is the valency. These elements losing of 2 electrons, that's why they are called as a bivalent cations. And coming to the trivalent. Coming to the trivalent. Trivalent ions. Trivalent ions means third A group, particularly third A group. What are the third A group elements? Students tell me. Aluminium 3 plus. Boron also shows that 3 plus, boron, aluminium, and gallium also 3 plus, like this. Third A group elements. So these are also shows that by trivalent. Other elements also, some of the other elements also shows that trivalent. Example, iron shows plus 2 at the same time plus 3 also. Ferrous, ferric. So like this, some of the elements also shows that trivalent. And coming to the tetravalent. Tetravalent. What are the tetravalent? Tetravalent means, you know the tetravalent. How many elements can, how many electrons can be losing? 4 electrons. What is that for? Particularly fourth A group can be losing like this. What are the fourth A group? Carbon, silicon, germanium. No, silicon shows that plus 4 also. Okay, carbon shows at the same time plus 4, at the same time minus 4 also it shows that. So equal probability is there. Carbon atomic number 6. It can be losing 4 electrons to can stability like helium. At the same time gaining 4 electrons stability like neon also. These are also, it can be example of tetravalence. Tetravalence. You know that some pentavalent also there. Pentavalent. Penta means 5. Pentavalent ions. Pentavalent ions means example phosphorus also. P5. P plus 5. Okay, and phosphorus and nitrogen phosphorus. These are all. Nitrogen shows that particularly minus 3. Phosphorus shows that plus 5 also. This is the some examples I given for monovalent. These are basics based on group numbers. Cations are positive charged ions. These are classified based on the losing of electrons. Monovalent ion, bivalent cation, trivalent cation, tetravalent cation, and pentavalent cations. These are the cations type. Now we are going with and anions. Now we are going with anions. I will explain some anions. Anions also same like the types. Anions. Anion already we know that anion means if an element gaining of electron to carries the negative charge is called as a anions. Anions also some types are there. Monovalent anion. Monovalent anion. What is the monovalent anion means if an element is gaining one electron to carries the negative charge -1 like that, they are called as a monovalent anions. For example, tell me that halogens particularly. Halogens shows that monovalent. What are the halogens? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. These are particularly shows that monovalence. Fluorine, fluoride ion, chloride ion, bromide ion, iodide ion. These are all called as a halogens. And one more thing, what is that remaining other than halogens, monovalence, other than halogens? Nitrate ion, NO3 minus, nitrate. This is a nitrate ion. And NO2 minus is there. This is a nitrite ion. These are the monovalent ions. Monovalents. So divalent or bivalent anions. Bivalent anion. Bivalent anion example O2 minus 6th group elements. O2 2 minus or else oxygen 2 minus. Oxygen gaining of 2 electron to get stability. And S2 minus sulfide ion. Sulfide oxide ions, sulfide ions. And some other elements also there. CO3 2 minus. CO3 2 minus. And sulfate, carbonate ion, sulfate ion, SO4 2 minus, sulfate ion. These are the oxide ion, sulfide ion, carbonate ion, and sulfate ions. And these are the considered as a bivalent ions, sulfate. And the sulfate ions also there, SO3 2 minus, sulfite, SO3 2 minus. Okay, this is the sulfite. This is the sulfate. This is the variation between them. Sulfate. Like this, bivalent ions also there. And coming to the trivalent anions. Trivalent means 3 electrons gaining to get a negative charge. Example, tell me the trivalent ions. Example, PO4 phosphate 3 minus. PO4 3 minus, phosphate ion. Phosphate ion is a trivalent ions. So these are the trivalent ion. Particularly phosphate ion is a trivalent ion. So this type of ions also we have trivalent anions based on, and these are, and tetravalent also there. Tetravalent means the example is ferrocyanide. Ferrocyanide is FeCN6 4 minus. FeCN6 4 minus is a ferrocyanide ion, or else ferric cyanide ion. Ferric cyanide ion. FeCN6 3 minus. Ferric cyanide ion is the trivalent ion. Ferrocyanide is the tetravalent ion. These are the some ions I explained. So these are anions. Anions means negative charged ions. These are classified based on their valency. Negative charged based on monovalent, particularly halogens, and some other elements also I given compound ions, nitrate ion and nitrate ion. Bivalent anion means they are gaining 2 electron to carry the 2 charge, 2 minus. So oxide ion, sulfide ion, and carbonate ion, and sulfate ion, sulfite ion, and trivalent ion, phosphate ion, and ferric cyanide ion, and tetravalent ion, ferrocyanide ions. So these are the anions concept. Now we have an idea about that cations and anions. So how the ions are formed? Somebody having doubts. How the ions are formed? How ions are formed? How ions are obtained? Ions are obtained either by losing or gaining to get stability like a noble gas. How the ions are obtained? For example, Na is the element. Na element is unstable. When it's stable by losing of one electron to get stability like noble gas. That's why ions are obtained from the elements by the losing or gaining of electrons, particularly ions. Another concept is that some of the compounds can be dissolved in solutions, can be dissociated as a ions, can be dissociated as a ions. This is the ions formation concept. Now we are coming to that how to write chemical formula. How to write chemical formula. How to write chemical formula. Question is, for example, write chemical formula, write chemical formula of magnesium sulfate. What is the question, Andy? Write chemical formula of magnesium sulfate. How can you write chemical formula of magnesium sulfate? First, what they are asking, once you check that magnesium sulfate chemical formula asking. First you take that magnesium. What do you take, Nana? Magnesium. And sulfate formula already we know that sulfate SO4. This is the sulfate. Now, what is the magnesium charge? Already you know that magnesium is a bivalent cation. So what charge it has? This is the step 1. Step 1 in that question, what they are given, you have to take that sulfate. Practice that. Magnesium. Step 2. Step 2 you have to check that. What is the step 2? Apply the charges. So Mg2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Already you know that how the ions are obtained, and we are practice that ions types. And third step, crisscross their valences. Crisscross their valences. Valency means without charge. Mg2 SO4 2. These are valence. Crisscross their valences. Their valence. Okay, Nani? Now valence is 2 into Mg2, and 2 into SO4 twice. This is the compound ions. You have to use that bracket. For compound ions you have to use that bracket like that. This is the step 4. And coming to the last one, the number came same. You have to convert the simplest ratio. How can you convert simplest ratio? 2 ones are 2 ones are. The answer is MgSO4. For compound ion only SO4 one time is there. No need to write bracket. If SO4 2 times, 3 times are there, you have to use that bracket. Magnesium how many times? 1 time. Sulfate also 1 time. The answer is MgSO4 is the magnesium sulfate formula. How to write chemical formulas, guys? Once again check that. The example I explained. Write chemical formula of magnesium sulfate. Write chemical formula of magnesium sulfate. Step 1. What their question asking that you have to write elements or compounds. Magnesium Mg symbol, sulfate SO4. And step 2, the charges you have to apply that. Magnesium atomic number 12, it can be losing of 2 electrons. That's why carries the 2 plus. And sulfate, already we know that sulfate SO4 2 minus. So SO4 2 minus. Next step 3, you have to apply that their valences, not their charges. Valences means what is the magnesium valency, guys? 2. What is the sulfate valency without charge? 2. And step 4, crisscross their valence. This is called as a crisscross method. Crisscross their valence. 2 into Mg2. And 2 into SO4 twice. Then the answer came like this. Then you convert the simplest ratio. 2 into 1. 2 ones are 2. 2 ones are 2. So answer is MgSO4, magnesium sulfate. Can I tell that another example? Another example, guys. Once you check that, write the chemical formula of Magnesium ferrocyanide. What is that question, Anna? Write the chemical formula of magnesium. Magnesium ferrocyanide. Ferrocyanide. What is the ferrocyanide formula? Already we know that. What there? Step one. Step one. Once you check that, what is the step one, guys? Magnesium. You take that magnesium. What is that ferrocyanide, guys? FeCN6 4 minus. This is the ferrocyanide. And applied the charges. Step 2. What is the step 2? Applied the charges. Magnesium 2 plus. And FeCN6 is example for tetravalent anion. Is example for tetravalent anion. Now step 3, how to check that? Step 3, without charges you have to write their valencies only. Magnesium power 2 valency. And what is that? Ferrocyanide FeCN6 and 4. Now apply the charges. 4 is equal to here, magnesium is equal to. Apply the charges. What the step 4 will come? Step 4, what is that? Mg. And 4 into Mg. Mg4. Okay, they can be used as a subscript. These are subscripts. And 2 into FeCN6 4, FeCN6 2. Now converts that simplest ratio. Mg how many times? 4 times. Convert that. 2 2s are 4. So we have to write Mg2 and 2 1s are 2. Now formula is Mg2 FeCN6 and FeCN6 only. FeCN6. This is the formula. This is the magnesium ferrocyanide, guys. Magnesium ferrocyanide. Can you understood? How can you write these are all? Once again, write the chemical formula of magnesium ferrocyanide. Step 1. Write that elements magnesium and ferrocyanide. Practice this ferrocyanide formula. And step 2, apply the charges. And step 3, and apply their valences, means without charges. And step 4, crisscross. Step 3, crisscross their valences. You have to write the formula. If the formula can be converts the simplest ratio, you have to convert the simplest ratio. That is the simplest formula. Convert the simplest ratio. That is the this is the correct formula. This is not a correct formula because its formula can be changed to simplest ratio. This is the correct formula, guys. This is the right chemical formulas of the compounds. I think you understood today's topic. You have to practice more and more by the combination of cations and anions. Always you have to write the first form in the formula. Cation first you write. Next one follows the anion. First you write cation. Okay, can you explain that aluminum sulfate formula? Last one, aluminum sulfate. I will give that task for you next remaining. Write the chemical formula of aluminum sulfate. Tell me what is that aluminum sulfate formula, guys? Or else aluminum phosphate. Phosphate you take that. Phosphate. What is that formula? Step 1, what they are given? Aluminum and phosphate. Phosphate formula PO4 3 minus PO4. And step 1, this is step 1. Step 2, what is that step 1? Step 2, apply the charges. What is the charge of aluminum? It's an example of trivalent cation. Aluminum charge is 3 plus. Why? Aluminum atomic number is 13. It can be losing of 3 electron, carries plus 3. And phosphate is also example of trivalent anion. And step 3, write their valences. What is the valence of aluminum? 3. What is the valence of phosphate? 3. Now crisscross their charges. Crisscross their charges. Step 4. What is that? 3 into Al3. You write subscript. And 3 into PO4. Always compound ion you have to write in bracket. Write simplest ratio. 3 cancel. What they will come? AlPO4. AlPO4. This is the compound aluminum phosphate formula. AlPO4. Guys, I think you are understood today topic. How to practice remaining some of the compounds and write this. Today task I given the task for you. Task. Tell me that what is that nitrate ion formula? Nitrate ion formula. First one. Nitrate ion formula. and bicarbonate ion formula. Bicarbonate ion and sulfide sulfide ions and ammonium ion. This is the right, and this is the task for you. And one more thing, last question for you. We have to write question and practice today. Write the chemical formula of write chemical formula of chemical formula of write chemical formula of sodium bicarbonate. What is that in sodium bicarbonate formula? How can you write formula correctly? And sodium bicarbonate is called as a baking soda. It is used for the baking to prepare cakes. This is all about today class, guys. Thank you very much. All of you subscribe my channel. If any person is new one is there, please subscribe and keep icon bell icon and share it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.